Hi everyone, welcome back to Rocksteady. My name's Tracy, and in this video I've been asked if I would do a tutorial on how I make thumbnails for YouTube. Now I use software called Canva, that's C-A-N-V-A, which you can find at canva.com. It has a free version. There are also various paid for options. It depends on what you want from it, but you can make really good posts of any kind, whether that is an Instagram post or a flyer, a video. As you can see, there's lots. If I move it along, you can make presentation, Instagram stories, YouTube icons, all kinds of stuff, your story. But there we have, on this now has appeared YouTube thumbnail. So this is the home page, and down here you can see a few of the thumbnails that I've created using this software, and I can use this little arrow and you'll see more besides. Most of these are for my main channel, which is called Crochet Rocks. I also have a diet channel, but I usually use my PC, my desktop, to make them. So there's not so many on here, but you can use it just the same. It saves a little differently when it's on a laptop to a PC, but I'm sure you'll be familiar with how your device saves your work. Anyway, I'm just going to click on this one in a sec, but I can show you. You've got tabs down the side and up the top. The ones down the side are all your designs. So once you've created them, there is a bigger sort of part where you can go to and see all of the things that you've made. The branding kit, there's all sorts of things on here that you can use. So recommended for you, as I had before. I need to go along now because I've taken it back to the beginning where it says Instagram post logo. You can design just about anything with this. A lot of the features, however, you do need to pay for. I think the branding kit, you need to be a subscriber, so you need to be paying, but there's a lot of things that you can do absolutely free on here. So I'm going to click on the YouTube thumbnail, and straight away, as you can see, you then get a white background and then a grey part here. So this represents the thumbnail that you're going to be working on. So if I just click into it, you'll see that this little colour icon has appeared, and if I click on that, it gives you a variety of colours that you can choose. So for instance, if I wanted this mauvey pink, then if I click on this all colours, then you can actually experiment and explore the whole of the spectrum for that colour. Likewise, any of the other colours, just click on that one and you can take it down to dark, you can go up to pink and all sorts of things. But it also has a background as well, so you can use one of the backgrounds that they've chosen. So we've got fluffy clouds, snazzy sparkles. These are all ones that I've used before. It says recently used, but there are a lot to choose from, and if you just sort of scroll through and find one you like, if you hover over it, it will tell you whether it's a free one or not. See, this one doesn't say free, and if you click on that, there will be a charge for that, because you can buy those individually. You don't have to just stick with the free ones, but I've only ever purchased a couple of elements really, but mostly I opt for the free ones. So you can just click on them and it will change it accordingly. But so there are lots to choose from. Coming up for Valentine's Day, so you could choose roses or a more textured black background, anything that you wanted basically. That's a free one, so you could have the water drop. So how do you get around here then? As you will see on this side here, there are lots of headings. Now because I have my font set fairly large, you can't see the whole of the name. That's the template, and then you have various uploads that I've used over the time. So a little while ago for one of my channels, I used this tea. I did this for New Year. I've used a cup of tea, and just a little while ago I was filming this video and it went wrong. But all you need to do is click onto that and backspace out of it, or delete if you're on Windows, and it will take you out. So if I wanted to make any other kind of video, see, I've got a craft channel, so I did unboxings and yarn related things. I've used my own pictures when I was doing an out and about video in my area. You just have to kind of play with it, really. You can upload anything you want. So this is one that I found on the internet and I just like the look of, but you can position that in the corner. I don't think I'm up quite high enough. There we are. And then you just drag it and it would make half the screen. If you want to just get rid of that little bit, then you can click into the other half, find your colour scheme, and you can go yellow, the blue that's in. See, these colours that have appeared here are all the colours in this this photo. You can go black, and then you can put your messages and your words along here, pictures, your own photographs, anything you want, you just drag and drop in. So that was the background tab. Then photographs that I've used from Canva themselves. These are their stock photos. You can use those free of charge, unless they have where it doesn't say free, then obviously they're the ones that are paid for. So if you wanted those flowers, for instance, you could just pop them in. I'm just going to get rid of those. But there are quite a lot of free photographs. So if you were doing one about sleep or something, you could use that one. But, you know, just explore it and I'll hover over and you can see if they're free photos or if they're chargeable. Those ones all seem to be free. The next tab down is elements, and that's where you can find pretty cool stuff to use. So this is my symbol because my main channel is called Crochet Rocks and this one's Rock Steady. So it's usually there in the recently used part. But I just wanted to point out that although a lot of them are free, occasionally, like this one, it will say Pro against it. If I hover over it, you can see there that Pro comes up. That means if I had the Pro version, then it would be free. There's also some that say Premium. That means if I had the Premium version, they would be free. So it says here, we'll remove watermarks. So if I make this bigger, you can see there it says Canva. But if I didn't want it to, I could remove the watermark by paying. So this one image, if I wanted it, it would be 99p. But I'm just showing you that I don't want to use it. I have bought a couple of images in the past for 99p where I didn't particularly want to subscribe, but I did want to use it. Now these ones are quite intriguing because they will give you a frame. So if I wanted to put a picture in there, that picture would be that shape, which would be quite cool. So if I had a photo, sometimes you just have to play with it. That's my uploads. I don't really upload much. Oh, actually, on this one, there they are. There's the uploads. So there's a picture of me. I'm not sure if it's going to work on this. Yes, it has. There you go. If I make my background a lighter colour, you can see, I'll get rid of that one. You can see that that picture is now a nice squiggly shape. So if I wanted to then, this is other ones that I've put in here and I downloaded this off the internet. So you can play with the sizing, and I've used this before, but you can put it along the bottom and you can make it anywhere you want there, and you can drag it so now it looks like there is just this part that's yellow. If you wanted to frame the whole thing, I've done that before, you go back to elements and you get shapes. If you see here it says see all, you can see every shape there is, but I usually use this one, which is you can do this like freehand and you can set it, and if you then come out of it you can drag it. You won't see it, but if I wanted to frame this, then I just pull it out. So as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do with it, loads and loads. You've got animated stickers, but obviously they don't really work out on a thumbnail. But yeah, there's lots and lots you can choose from that they're showing you samples of. But you have a place up here where if you wanted to search for flowers, it will then show you all the flowers, and you can hover over them, see which ones are free and which ones are not free. Quite often, if you want, say, YouTube, it'll give you all of the YouTube options. Now, most of them are chargeable, but you do get the odd free one. Now, I usually use this one, and you can change that if you wanted to. So if I didn't have a yellow background, had black, now you can't see it. But I know by playing with it that this icon here is the word colour. I can make it white or yellow, anything I want. So now you can see that I've used 3 different things here now. So it's giving me a colour variation for every single colour that's in these particular things. So my wow sign, these are the colours, and my picture, these are the colours it's saying are in it, which I don't believe that is the colour of my face, but it's the spectrum, I suppose. And so the subscribe one, these are the elements in it. So now the more things you put on, the more colour choices that you get. So let's get rid of some of these, and we'll get rid of me, and we'll get rid of this one. Make this one smaller. Well, obviously not like that. Let's make it bigger. We can make it smaller like this. So, and get rid of that frame. So now we've got, and that one again. So now we've got a blank canvas, if you like. And if I've put YouTube in up here, it's giving me all these options. So look, most of these ones that appear in these boxes, it gives you a magic recommend. So you can see all of those. And if you wanted to say you're also on Spotify, or also on Twitter, also on Facebook, you can use these stock kind of elements for it. You can get rid of them. One for Instagram, but you can change the colour of the word, because you know that that's the blue. You go up to the colour scheme at the top, click the blue, and that's not going to show up, so we'll choose a lighter blue. And oh, actually it's the wrong blue. It's this one. So then we change it, and then we can read it. But you can also change the colour of your background, so that wouldn't be a problem. But as you can see now, there are fewer options with the colours because I've got rid of some of the elements. So I'll get rid of that one. So all the way along, there are things you can choose. Just hover over it and you'll see if it's free or not. The Netflix one was free. I used that recently because I did a scam video. So then we get onto the text, and that's actually quite cool because you get headlines, you get sub-headlines, you get body of text. Those ones really are for doing flyers and things like that if you want. But you get these others now. And some of these are quite, well, that one's called Sparkle, but they're shiny. So if I get that on the screen, you can see it's got a shine to it. Now you can just make those smaller. And if you drag it out, then you can type in just backspace. And if I wanted to do rocks steady, there we go. If I didn't like that, I could just highlight it, use this drop down box, and I can change that to any font that I fancy. So I'll choose that one. It'll be more bolder, and it's changed it, but it's still the shiny version. So you can do that with any of these, but just hover over them again and it will tell you if they're free or if they're chargeable, because some of them are chargeable. I've used this one fair amount. People will recognize it if you're my subscriber, but you will find these all look like they're free, but they're not. Some of them are chargeable. So let's go further down, and pro, some of them are not, although heaven knows why, because there are free ones that are kind of nicer than that, really. So it's just a case of, then you can play with it. You can you can mix and match them, and it's quite fun to use. Now there are options for music, which obviously for a YouTube thumbnail we don't need, and video, to add video. If you're making a slideshow or a presentation, then that's cool. But these are the backgrounds again that we're back to, and you can have folders. I've never bothered using those, but that is basically how I use Canva. So okay, let's make a thumbnail, shall we? There's my, I'm not sure that I like that, but for the purposes of this we'll keep it. So now, as you can see, I've gone back to elements, and it's on this where I left it. But if you just go to where you've typed YouTube up here, you can X out of that and it brings you back to all of these. So if I want to go to my recently used, see all, then you can see all the ones that I've used. So I can get my little symbol back. So I can put, and it's, incidentally, if I'd used this symbol first, then it would be underneath my words, and I've done that quite a lot. So for now, I will play with this, it will be better. So if I wanted to just put normal text, then I would do this. Place it wherever you want. Have to come out of it and then click in to place it. So now I want to get rid of that wording, and I could say how to make a free, oops, oh dear, thumbnail. Right, and then you can just carry on making your thumbnail. But it's just a case of playing with it, and you can change the colour of that font if you want to. We can have it orange. You can change the colour of this font too. Now that you've actually got your sparkle and you've changed it, if you want it, sometimes you get a real fluorescent vibe going on over here. The more things you use that have got bright colours in, some of them give you really vivid colours. So for argument's sake, I've gone for orange. I can do that. It doesn't give you a perfect true orange because it's got this shiny element to it. But I really like this one, this green. This dark green comes up lovely when you do it on the shiny blues, purples, pinks. But they've all got that shine to them. They've all got that brightness. So it's a case of just getting it on there and playing with it. So just we'll pretend this is how I want my thumbnail to look. I don't, but just in case, just for the purposes of this, we'll make it this thumbnail like this. So I'll just get rid of that little bit of writing. So if I go up here to download and I click on the arrow, you'll see file type, and I always make it a JPEG. Now with my desktop, when I do this, I have a little box appears down here and I have to go click it for it to pop up. But with this one, because it's slightly different, it's an iMac, it will just come up on its own once it's done it. Obviously with Windows it'll be slightly different. So there we are, there's my thumbnail, and I can then just use my drop down, call it what I like, thumbnail, and save it in the place where I put all my YouTube stuff, and then just click out of it. There we are, and this one was the box that I had open, so we get rid of that. And that's how, for some reason, it pops up on this laptop. It doesn't do that on my PC, but you can try it free for 30 days, and you can set it to do all this popping up your posts on social media. You can do all that scheduling stuff if you subscribe, but I choose not to subscribe, just to keep it on the free version. If you want to incorporate photographs from the internet, you can go on there and you can download anything you want. The illustration I was using earlier was beaches, but it's Valentine's Day soon. Oop. I can't type when people watch. My fingers get very dyslexic, and they don't like it. So if you do a search, then you can just go on to images, and you can see all these lovely images there. Sometimes you have to pay for them, but there's quite a lot of freebies around. All you got to do is just search, and then you can drag and drop those onto your thumbnail. So for argument's sake, I'll just move this over, and maybe I'll choose Happy Valentine's. So I'll put that into that folder, and then I can come back to my thumbnail, get rid of wow, and I can drag, although I can drag and drop that to here. I'll pop it down there for now, move, and we'll get rid of all this, and it'll just show you how easy it is to create your own wallpaper, as long as you're not using something that will get you into trouble. So there we are, that's there. Now it doesn't cover the whole size, which if I tried to make that bigger I would lose some. I'll show you what I mean. It will do this. So I don't want to do that, but what you can do is pop it over here and change the colour. Now when I go to colours, it should give me these, so I can choose that colour, and it kind of gets lost. You can adjust that if you think I can see the line, so you can just move it slightly and hopefully it won't disappear because it's gradient. But what you can do is instead just use red, or you can, it will then, because you've made the whole background red, it will be either side. So you could do that. Now sometimes you can find by searching YouTube thumbnail, YouTube wallpaper, and it will give you the right size, but you can play with it. So if you wanted to, maybe you wanted that to be a bit smaller like that, and then you could come back to your elements and get rid of that, because obviously it leaves off where you starts up where you left off. That's what I mean. Go to shapes and see all. So now you can see all the different varieties of shapes there are here. So for argument's sake I choose this one. I can pop that over here, about there, and make it bigger, and I can adjust where I want it. So you don't have to have that one. You can choose another one that's kind of shaped like this one here. Get rid of that, pop that one on, do the same thing. And what I've done in the past quite often is I'll do a little banner like that. If I go longer, now you can choose, so that's the same colour. Now you can bring it down so it's got a little border around it, and now you can put your text that you want in here. So let's get out of there and then pull it over and get back in, backspace, and I can just put in rocks steady. I have an exclamation mark, why not? Now you can make that bigger, just dragging it and position it where you want. You can have that in red, decide you wanted it red, and then you go back to elements, get rid of the shapes, go back to this one, and you can pop it here. It's a good size, but if you wanted to resize it you can. But up here you can see there's the colours. Some of these shapes will not let you recolour them, but this one will. So you can go up, you can make the main part of it red, click on the orange part and make it so now it looks like it's meant to be there. So that's just basically, you can drop this down a little bit if you wanted that to look like it had a frame. You can put the YouTube symbol there. Go to see all because we can't see them now. Here it is. Make it smaller. Come out of it, click back in, and you can move it. And you can put that down there. So you can see you can make quite professional looking thumbnails very, very easily. So then all you've got to do again is go back up to there, change that to JPEG, which is, you don't have to, but I do, and then download it and you've got one. But obviously I don't really want a Valentine's Day, but I can delete that quite easily. But as you can see, you can make quite good thumbnails. I'll just get rid of that. I don't know why this comes up, but it does. It probably just wants, it's like a little advert for me, but you can click out of it. So if at any point you choose an element that's not free, for argument's sake, I don't think I'll find too many there, but I just need one of the pros. There we go. We'll pop that on there. I know it's in the wrong place, but now if I go up here and I go to download this, as you can see, I'll just move this over slightly. Right here it says I've got a premium image for 99p. So I can pay and download. Obviously I'd change that to JPEG, and then I could pay and download, and it will charge my YouTube, well, you know, what's the word? iTunes. It will just charge it. And I can have transparent background, compress the flower quality, do all sorts of things. One thing I didn't show you, actually, is up here you get options. If you click on the picture, we'll get rid of that one because that's, oh, wrong one. We'll put them there then. So for argument's sake, I can click on that, and then there's all these icons up here. Now that one will make it more transparent. So you can make that a wallpaper if you want and write over it. It's quite handy. That I've used that quite a few times. But there's other things as well. You can, if it was your own picture, let's find me again. Where am I? There she is. Right, there I am. Now, if that was my own picture, I can click up here for effects. These, I think, mostly are chargeable, but filters are not. So if I didn't like the colour of that, I could just click on it and you'll see it will change. That's a bright one. Summer. So yeah, there are some you can go for peony, so I'll be a bit pink. Drama. Ooh, I look scary. Or I can just black and white myself. So those are all sorts of fun colour things you can do with your pictures. So hope that's been educational and you've enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be informed when there are new videos. But yeah, canva.com. There are others that I used to use, Adobe Spark, but I do find that this one is a lot easier and a lot more robust. But I might do a tutorial for the things that I do on other platforms at a later date. But this is Canva, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much. Bye for now.